We're going to move along to part 2 of the interview here with Hall of Famer Damon Saxon here in the MAC in 2024. The head football coach back then was Rich Mannello at King's College. Rich, we go now to when did the story start to turn? Was it shortly after that, or did it take some time for Damon to kind of set his foot and kind of get the good graces there?
It took time. Yeah. So at one point, I remember one of my discussions with him. I said, I don't care how good you are. Until you buy into that weight room, you're going to be the best tailback standing next to me on the sideline. And I didn't have to raise my voice with him. He wouldn't respond to that. He didn't need that. You just had to talk to him and let him know this is what's on the table. Make a decision. You made some good ones, made some others, but here you are now. And he had flashes, and then I think he got nicked up one more time, and then dove in to the weight room, and there's no magic there, right? And if you saw him run, if you can ever get a hold of films, everybody's, well, he was just a natural runner. He made himself into that runner, and the weight room part of it just put him over the top. I remember going in that postseason game, somebody put a comment in the paper of, I don't know if Saxon has any more tread on his tires. Well, we ran, I think, a power or counter to that sideline the first play of the game, and I think he went about 70 yards. That was the weight room. He bought into that part. And the question on the field, it was never there. He always worked tremendously hard. He'd do whatever he asked him to do. But the weight room thing, it wasn't his place. But he bought in, and when he did, he was all in.
Talk about, maybe, out of 100 guys, maybe you were the one who took the bus back. 99 are still at home and, stayed with their family or went a different path. You had a lot of reasons probably to do that. But talk about that decision that maybe turned you into this 2024 Hall of Fame class for the MAC.
All right. I guess it came down to a conversation with my child's mother. And she said to me, I need you to go back to school to be better for your daughter. And I was like, all right, I can do this. It's a little away from home, but I got your blessings, I'm gonna go. Now, coach was right about the weight room. So my sophomore year, I started lifting heavy. Jimmy DeMays and Rob, they forced me. Rob would make me go to the weight room. Right, I got up to squatting 500 pounds. Coach said to me, don't think just because you're lifting a little bit of weights that you're somebody. So let me know, one, he noticed that I was lifting weights, but he wanted me to do more. I've had this was after the sophomore season, I get up to 500 pounds on the squat. I completely tear my ACL going into my junior year, but I didn't know. Coach didn't know. Nobody knew. I actually did it my freshman year. I think I partly tore playing basketball in a stupid game, and then over the years it just kept tearing and finally tore in the Del Valle game junior year. But once that happened, I had to get surgery. This was the best part. This is why coaches beyond the things. But so imagine being, I think I was 20 years old. I was by myself. My mom, she couldn't come up. My dad did come up, but I only saw my dad if it wasn't for games, maybe once or twice in college. My senior year. I go to surgery. A young lady named Jess Timbers. I always give her credit. She's married now, so it's not her last name. She picked me up at 6 in the morning from my apartment. She drove me to the hospital. I had the surgery. When I wake up, coach is sitting here to my left. My dad is to my right. That was the first image I saw of two of my favorite men in the whole wide world. I woke up, I saw them, it was like a dream, it's them, and then I went back to sleep. I woke back up, everybody was gone, but I got a ride home, and I was like, I'm gonna show coach that I can really do this. I had nothing else to do anyway. My knee was hurt, I was in school by myself, and we started working. It's not just me, it was my roommate, Corey Dickerson. He was a really hard worker, he was on the basketball team. So we would go to the gym 2-3 times a day, and then I would run in between. Cause coach knew I thought I had talent, so the talent would trump my work ethic. Coach only saw the work ethic, So he knew I had the talent. He would just emphasize, "Oh, you gotta work, Damon, you gotta work." I'm like, "But coach, I'm good." But I wasn't good because I'm only getting 4-yard runs. I can't finish a gasser. Like, I'm in the back half. So imagine trying to be the starting running back and you in the back half of gassers for your freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So coach couldn't trust me. He didn't trust that I'll be able to hold up for a whole game. I worked on that. We ran gassers every day I started my rehab. I had the surgery in January. I started rehab in February. I was able to run by March. I was able to sprint by April. I was able to squat back to where I was plus more by May. And it was just nonstop weight room. So everything coach been trying to preach, it took him 3 years. But it finally hit home when I was at my worst because I couldn't move. But I ended up having it the best year.
We head over the belief in this guy. Some people, the freshman year, hey, they're going to be some sophomore year, junior year. This guy's had a lot of the ups and downs here. It's going into his senior year. Did you hedge it all on this guy, or you were like, he's going to find a way to get through this surgery and come back?
Yeah, he's a survivor, and he proved everything that he had to at that point. He had so many opportunities to say, it's enough. I tried. He could have went back and told any kind of story he wanted told, back in his home area. And maybe that's how you go the rest of your life. But he's not wired that way. And he made that decision when he got back on that bus that day that he was going to see it through. And, I think we would have got there at the end anyway, but that injury, he was walking the plank. It was either get it done or it was going to end. And even at that point, a lot don't come back that fast. I mean, that was quick. And then to be able to do what he did, that last year. But, again, we could sit here and talk for a long time, but you don't know how he's wired. Internally, that's different. He's got that, and I don't know, you'd like to say a lot of kids have that, but I'm starting to notice that maybe there's not as many that have it, and what are the reasons? I don't think we got enough time here or tape to figure that one out, but he's got it, he had it, but he did all the work, but he had a lot of reasons to walk away, a lot of them, and he just kept pushing them back, and so then they had that magical year.